What can I call you?
Just Yazoo will do. That's fine. Or
Yazoo.
Yaz.
How have you been?
I've been pretty good. It's been I've started a new job about 6 months ago. Things have been hectic, but I'm getting ready for the Christmas period now. Last few days have been a bit stressful because we've got a hole in the roof in the house, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But aside from that, no, I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty good.
Nice. You done your Christmas shopping?
Hell no, man. That roof needs money to be repaired. I
Yeah.
probably ain't gonna do anything this year apart from for myself because I'm selfish.
Well, you always have to get for yourself, I think. Something. A
Exactly.
little something. Where are you from?
I am from the UK, Lincolnshire originally. I was born in Lincoln. Now I live just outside Nottingham.
Oh, wow. I have no idea where that is. I'll have to look it up after this.
Robin Hood. You know who Robin Hood is?
Yeah. From
I live.
Nottingham? That's cool.
Yeah, I live near his tree.
That's awesome. Do you go and visit it?
Yeah, I've been a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's still there. I used to go as a kid. Back as a kid, you could walk right up to it and climb it and stuff. But now, because it's like I don't know, it's like 400 years old oak. It's like all they have like scaffolding holding it up and stuff. But it's a cool, nice little wooded area.
That'd be nice to go visit. I'd like to go visit the UK for sure.
Just don't go to London. London's overrated.
Noted. How long have you been a creator?
Streaming wise, about 5, 6 years, but I've worked in marketing for about 11 years. So I've been creating content over a decade at this point. But streaming wise, probably about 5, 6 years.
Where did you get started with?
Content wise, one day I was just bored. I finally moved out of my parents' house when I was like, I don't know, 23, 24. And I thought, sod it, why not just get a computer and start streaming? I like playing games. I like hanging out with people when I play games. I think I'm good at playing games. And that was basically it. I just started growing from that. I'd never took it too seriously. It's been more of like a hobby for myself. But yeah, that's about it.
What do you hope to achieve as a creator?
Back at the beginning, I would love to have been like a full-time streamer, content creator. That was kind of my drive and desire in the early days. Now that I'm a bit older, I'm in a relationship, I moved in and stuff like that. I've got a good job. I kind of just do it now, just a bit of a side hobby, bit of a fun, get to hang out with some cool people, some friends, play games online. I mean, I always think, look, I'm going to be at home. I'm going to be playing games after work. Why not just turn on the webcam and just hang out with people while I do it?
What did you want to be when you were a kid?
That's I've never really had an answer to that. So I've always found it hard to find my placement in what I want to do. I'm always jealous of those kids, even at a young age. Like when I grow up, I want to be a dentist, and then that's like from the age of 5. That's all they've talked about, being like a dentist. I've never really had that. I've always like bounced back and forth between what I want to be. At one point, I wanted to be like a footballer because during my youth, I was really big into football and I was good at it. Then I slightly drifted away from that and I wanted to be a game designer. That didn't come through because I got bored of that. Again, now I'm in content creation, which I think is marketing precisely, which I think is like where I kind of want to stay be. But yeah, like I don't know, I'm kind of a free spirit in that. I've never had like a direct answer to what I want to be when I grow up, and I still don't really know what I want to be. Will I do? I still want to be doing my job in another year time? Honestly, I don't know.
What kind of foods do you like?
Oh, anything. Well, meat, any kind of meat, I'll eat all meat. I'm not big on veg or fruit.
You got a licky
My
ear?
probably my favorite would probably just be any type of like Italian food, pasta. I also big on Chinese food. I really like just curries as well. And anything, bro. And if you put it in front of me, I'm probably gonna eat it. I'm not that picky.
Awesome. How about games? What kind of games do you like?
Um, strategy games these days. Slower paced strategy games where I don't have to keep up to date with like the response time of 5-year-olds who are just zooming around all over the place. Give me slow paced strategy games where I can outthink people and I don't have to rely on my age and reactions, you know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. What kind of movies do you like? Did I ask that one? Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Damn. What kind of movies do I like? That's hard. Generally, just a good movie. My favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. I went and saw it when it came out in the cinema as like a kid. I can't remember seeing it, but apparently I was hiding under the seats. That's what my parents told me during it when I was like, I don't know, 2, 3 years old. These days, I don't just. There's so much content out there now and so much unique content. I would just generally, as long as it is good and enjoyable, I'll watch it. Like, whether that's The Boys, I'm watching like on Amazon Prime, or then I go watch like a Korean zombie movie. I'll go and then watch Barbie and enjoy that as well. I really, as long as it's got good characters and good actors and a good story, I'm really not that fussed.
What's the first game you remember loving?
Uh Either Age of Empires 1 or Settlers 2 Gold Edition.
Cool. A lot of hours in those games?
I've got a lot of the Settlers 2. I to this day I always install it on every computer I own, and I will always boot it up. Even though that game came out in 1995, I will still occasionally play it. So I'd say over 1,000 hours in that game, which isn't a lot to a lot of people, but I don't know.
What's your favorite childhood movie?
Jurassic Park or
Yeah.
Toy Story.
What's your favorite childhood memory?
Ooh. Damn, I've got a lot. I could give you a massive list. I think so. As a kid, my parents used to work, and during the school holidays in the UK, there's a period where you don't go to school for like 6 weeks. But because both my parents used to work, I couldn't stay at home alone between like the age of 5 and 11. It's not allowed. So they used to take me to this like family friend who used to look after me, and this guy, his name was Jeff, and his wife was Sylvia. They were just a family friend, and they used to look after like the local kids and stuff while all their parents went to work. And I used to love going to his house because despite him being like, he was in his 70s, and this would have been in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was a gamer in his late 70s, and he was a PC gamer. So I always loved going to his house for those 6 weeks every summer because I could just play on the computer for about 8 hours all day, uninterrupted. His wife would go down to town and like buy me chocolate bars and crisps and bring them back to the house for me. And I could just have a massive gaming session for 6 weeks nonstop, and it was great. And that's where like Age of Empires, The Settlers, Dune, Command and Conquer. Bro, I love that. If I could go back to like being the age of 5 to 11 and experience all that again, 100% I would.
That's a great memory. Do you have a role model or hero?
No, not really. No, not really. As a kid, because I used to play a lot of football as well, I would look up to like people like Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes for the Man United. But there's never really been someone I would say I'd look up to and like want to be them or emulate them. Probably closest would be probably my dad. But even then, my dad, me and my brother, we all have like vastly different like opinions and like what we want in life. So again, kind of just free spirited and just go with the flow.
What kind of jobs have you had, the best and the worst?
I'd say I've got 2 best jobs. The one I'm currently working in marketing because it's a really nice company to work for. I make good money and it's kind of relaxed and chilled. The other good job that I had was I used to be a healthcare worker, and I would used to drive to people's houses, and I would mostly deal with people who have late stages of dementia or end of life care. And you basically just live there, help them live a normal life. So you dress them, wash them, feed them, give them the medication, get them in and out of bed, help them to go to the toilet, all that kind of stuff. I like that because it feels like you're making an impact on the world. You're actually helping society. You're helping people. You're not just in a 9 to 5 job grind just for money. You could physically see the impact you're having on the world and helping people. And in the end of the day, you become family to them. You're not just, a nurse, healthcare worker. You become part of the family. At the same time, that was also the worst job I worked because massively underpaid. You weren't respected by the healthcare business at all because it's all privatized and overworked. And opposite to being there where you become family and friends with them, because it's end of life care, you end up losing those people as well. So it ends up being like a massive impact on your mental state. At least it was for me. So that was the best and worst job for different reasons.
All right. Sounds like a really fulfilling job, but definitely stressful.
All 100%, yeah.
What kind of books do you read?
Actually, not a lot. So as a kid, I had really bad dyslexia, so I've never been a fan of reading books. I'd look at like a sheet of words, and my mind would just go all over the place, quickly just lose attention, I wouldn't be able to focus on it. But lately, in the last 5, 6 months, I've really got into Warhammer 40k, and I've been reading a lot of it's not the novels, it's more like the magazines and the big codexes and the encyclopedias they get. And I've been listening to their audiobooks. So at the moment, 40k.
Do you have your own minis? Are you painting?
I am. I'm currently painting my own successor chapter to the Ultramarines because I love the Ultramarines. No matter as much hate they get, I will always stand by them. I think they're the best. So I'm currently painting my own chapter, The Sons of Midas, where we have a story, ongoing story. I do campaigns, we do roleplay campaigns, and people in chat who subscribe and shit or help support the channel, they get to name one of the minis that I build and paint. I'll put their name on it, and then we stat track it in any campaigns, and they can see the progress of their mini. And honestly, I've been so addicted to it. I've spent a lot of money in these first 5 months. It's kind of scary.
It sounds really interesting, and it's really nice to get your community in on it, right?
I mean, they're the ones who helped drive me into 40k in the first place because a lot of people who watch are into 40k. So I've always known about it, and as a kid, I wasn't from the most rich background, so my parents would never buy me any 40k. But my best friend and my cousin used to collect 40k as kids, and finally got to the point now where I'm old enough, I have my own money, and I thought, sod it, I'm gonna start getting to it. I've always liked it. I've always been like interested by it. Now I'm into it, and once I get into something, I get very addicted to it because I kind of want to be one of the best at it. So I kind of want to like get really good at painting and know all the lore and just generally get really, just be known about it. Just
That's awesome.
good at it.
That kind of goes into the next question: is what are your current goals or plans? That sounds like a pretty good goal or plan.
Finish off my first company. That's going to take me about a year or 2 years because that's going to be 100 Marines to paint. Aside from that, I want to pay off the rest of my mortgage. I've made some big progress to that. The road bump at the moment is to get the roof repaired. That's generally nothing too exciting. I feel like once you get older, like your goals become more refined, and it's just like, I kind of want to buy a new sofa, or I just need to pay off a bit of mortgage. That's kind of a boring answer for me.
No, that's a practical answer. Once you get to a certain age, you have to pay bills. I think that
It's
age
true.
is,
It's true.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to tax my niece coming up in Halloween. Teach her about taxes. You take a cut of the candy. Like, this
Yeah,
is what taxes are like. Don't
it's
ask
true. It's true.
questions.
It's true. They don't learn that in school. They've got to learn it, and the sooner they learn it, the more responsible they'll be with money. As boring as it is.
Do you have any tattoos?
I don't. I've always wanted to get a tattoo, but I have a phobia. I only have one phobia, and my phobia is needles. And I have a really bad phobia of needles. I want to get a tattoo. I don't know what I'd get tattooed. It'll probably only be something small. But I need to overcome that fear first.
If it helps, it doesn't really look like a needle. It looks like a pen.
That's the weird thing. So my phobia of needles, it's not so much the needle itself, it's the thought process of something being stabbed inside me, and it kind of just causes like a weird reaction in my brain. And it was so bad, and it is so bad that if I have to ever get like a vaccine for traveling or something or for COVID, uh, I have to take some relaxing drugs beforehand to basically get you high, to get you so high and relaxed, or else I would just pass out. I've had injections in the past where I've blacked out in the doctor's office, and I've just had to lay there in bed while I come back. It's a weird one. It's like a phobia of needles, but it's kind of like the I'm overthinking of what could come from it, you know.
Yeah. All right, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. Or have you experienced depression or anxiety?
Um, yes. Anxiety, I don't. I'd say, I don't know. Anxiety, not depression. Yes. I'd say not as severe as other people have, but there's been parts of my life where I've been very down. I've been very depressed. A couple of years ago, during the lockdown, the COVID lockdown, I was out of work and I was finding it really hard to get a job. That was probably my lowest of low there. But luckily, I've got a very supportive girlfriend who was there to help me through it. And yeah, we pulled through it. But
That's awesome.
anxiety, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really experienced anxiety.
It's awesome to have somebody to share those times with.
Yeah,
To help you
yeah,
get
yeah.
through
I'm
it.
very lucky.
What are some things you do to relax?
Watch YouTube videos. Paint Warhammer. Generally, just turn my brain off. I'll just like after a long day of work, if I've been like super stressed by work, generally I'll just come into this room, sit in my chair, and just put random stuff on YouTube and just let it all play. And I'll just turn my brain off. That's essentially it.
What do you think about meditation?
It's not for me. But then again, I don't know. It depends how you class meditation. I when I'm painting my miniatures, it zens me out so much, and I've never been that kind of person who's been able to just to zen out. I don't know if you'd class that as meditation, as like the traditional, you go while you're sat in like a weird position, and you're trying to clear your mind. So I'd say if you can find your form of meditation, then yeah, it's good. I found mine, but it took me 30 years to find it, and it helps.
I was glad you found it. What does the dream vacation look like?
A dream vacation. Depends how much money I've got. So for the last 2 years, I've stayed at home to save money while my girlfriend's gone to Disneyland. My dream vacation has to be alone on my own for 2 weeks at home with no responsibilities, knowing I can just do whatever I want every single day. That's been like I know it's not technically a vacation because I'm staying at home, but that's been nice. Just being just on your own for a long period of time. Aside from that, just somewhere calm and relaxing. I'm not into big cities anymore and like the nightlife kind of thing. I'd much rather go visit like castles, old country homes, experience history, off the beaten path kind of thing, away from society as much as possible.
What would you say something you're passionate about is?
Something I'm passionate about. Obviously, Warhammer at the
Warhammer.
moment. Aside from that, making a home for myself. I want to eventually live in this house or sell this house and move to somewhere where the mortgage has been paid off, no maintenance is required, and that's kind of it. That's kind of my passion, working towards being as burden free as possible.
How do you deal with stress in your life?
Um, that's a good one. I'd say just like I said before, just zone out from the world and around me and just watch YouTube videos and just turn my brain off.
Mm.
I used to drink quite a lot, probably because I'm British and it's in my blood. But I've kind of cut that out. So now, yeah, it's just to focus on again Warhammer. Start painting or just watch random YouTube videos and just like zone out.
The simple things, right? Sometimes they're just the most fulfilling.
Exactly. I think I've reached the point in life where I can detach myself away from work or things that stress me out because at the end of the day, it's probably not going to kill me. It's probably not that serious in the longevity of things. It's that's life. Just accept it, move on. It doesn't take much for me to move away from stress. I'm very easy to detach from things. Because I just don't have those worries anymore. Maybe when I was younger, I'd stress out like about exams, or if I'm like it's a new job. When I was younger, I'd be stressed to try like impress and make sure I'm doing things right. Now, I kind of just don't care, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
It's a good skill to have, being able to separate yourself from stress.
Yeah,
Definitely wish I had that skill. It's something I'm working on though.
I think it's something. The older you get, the more you like just shit happens. Just move on.
What is something you do to treat yourself?
At the moment, I comfort eat way too much. I'll go buy like a bag of Doritos or a tube of Pringles, and I will just devour those. Warhammer as well. I'll buy things way too far in advance and spend too much money on that. But at the moment, it's comfort eating. I've gained so much weight from just eating too much food and too much bad food and not doing enough exercise. Yeah, and I don't like cooking. I'm never been a fan of cooking. So I would rather just go buy a lot of like cheap junk food that I can just eat on the go rather than cook a proper meal. That's my problem, and that's always how I treat myself. On the way home from work, I'll stop at like a supermarket, buy some junk food, bring it home, and then I'll boot up a YouTube video and just eat.
What do you think about positive affirmations?
What do you mean by that?
Do you think they're good to have? Do you use any positive affirmations for yourself? What do you think about them?
Can you give me an example? I don't think I've ever heard that saying before.
Oh, a positive affirmation is like every day in every way I'm getting better and better, and it's something you'd say to yourself. Maybe sometimes say it to yourself in front of a mirror. It's just kind of like a pep talk that you give yourself.
Oh, nah, I don't really do that. Uh, I usually have like a list of things mentally that I need to know that I need to get done in that day, and I'll just go do them. I've never really had to talk myself up or amp myself up in a way. I guess when I'm working out and stuff, I'll keep progress of that, and I'll track myself, and I'll push myself to meet those goals when I get into like a big workout phase. But nah, it's never been something that
Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
introvert 100%. I would rather stay at home these days and be on my own with my computer on the internet than go outside. When I was younger, I used to love going out to pubs, drinking, going out night, dancing and stuff. But right now, I'd rather just be at home. There's too many people. Just leave me alone. That kind of thing. I just want to be at home where it's safe and I know, and it's warm, and I've got food and I've got games.
I know exactly how you feel. I spend 99% of my time at home. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I have no idea. I never look that far ahead. The only thing I want in 5 years is the final part of my mortgage payment to be paid off. Career wise, I have no idea. If I stay in this job, great. If I move on to something else, who knows? Streaming wise, I ain't got a clue. Next 5 years, I would like to start talking about having my own kid with my partner. But that's a big talk to have. So who knows?
That's awesome. That's an exciting talk. I hope to be a father one day. Good luck on that front.
Thank you, thank you.
What do you hope improves the most in the next 5 years?
Um, Personally, my financial situation. I make okay money, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the house that is stressful, like I've mentioned. Also, then getting ready to be a father, have that finance ready so we can support having a kid. Um, what was the question again?
What do you hope improves the most?
Oh yeah, so the financial situation and generally my weight. I've This is as big as I've ever been. I've gained a lot of weight in the last 12 months, and I would like at least by the end of 5 years to be back down to like 10 stone, 10 and a half to 11 stone. I think it's about like 70 kilograms, something like that. I don't know what it is in pounds.
Uh, what is harder than you thought it would be as a creator, and what's easier?
Ooh, networking is the hardest thing. But then again, networking is the hardest thing to me personally. But if I had more of a drive to be like a full-time streamer, like I did 5 or 6 years ago, I think it would be a lot easier. Because I feel like I am pretty approachable and I can like connect with people quite easily. It's just at present time, I don't really care that much to do it. And I would also say learning new skills that you don't have that you're required to have as like a content creator. So for example, if you want to be a full-time streamer, well, you need to learn how to be a video editor as well, because you need to produce content that goes on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. So I'd say learning new skills like that, especially if you're not too interested in it. I've never been a big video editor, so I've always struggled to be like good at making YouTube videos because I've never had that passion for it. I've never really enjoyed it. Opposed to streaming, I love streaming. I love like the live interaction. The easiest thing to me is just clicking the button and going live, talking, especially if there's like people in chat to talk to. That's the easiest thing to me.
It's awesome to be able to do something that you love.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your favorite creator?
Uh, like in the Twitch YouTube circle, it would have to be Pay Money Wubby because he's so. It's several. It's Pay Money Wubby because he can turn on the camera and just talk to his audience for 3 hours. Always come up with unique stream ideas. He only streams every other day, so he's not on like long 12-hour grinds, but the work he puts in for those short hours shows. And he's always creative, and he's always positive, and he's always funny. He's the most entertaining person on Twitch, in my opinion. Just live streaming in general. Next to him, probably Dr. Disrespect, because he found something unique. He did something before anyone else was doing it. And staying character for 8 hours, playing that character is pretty impressive. Germa as well. Germa's kind of like Pay Money Wubby. Always interesting, always come up with unique content and just generally entertaining. Aside from that, I mean, there's YouTubers I like as well who only produce like YouTube videos once in a while, but I'd say those three are my favorite. Those are the three I look up to when I want to make good content. Like how, because they're at the peak. They might not have the most in terms of viewers, but what they produce to me is peak quality.
If you won the lottery, would you still be a creator?
Yes, 100%. Depending how much money I win, I'm buying my old town football team, Gainsborough United. I'm taking it over. I'm playing real life football manager. I'm going to hire a bunch of friends to be my staff. And then I'd also hire a video producer who live streams the football matches on Twitch and on YouTube, so people who can't come to the stable can watch them online. And then I would be there commentating the matches as well, 100%. Yeah, exactly. The more money, the more I can produce. I feel like I've so many ideas that I would love to do, but I'm either limited by the finances or I'm limited by my the skills that I have. But if I have the money, I don't need to have those skills because I can hire someone else to have the skills. So it really comes down to finances. If I had the money to produce the content ideas that I have, bro, 100%, give me the money.
What are some of the best parts of creating and streaming?
Uh, the best part to me about live streaming is the interaction and the relationships you can build up through it. Meet new friends and just have a good time. Also, creating. So I used to cast games, competitive games for Postscriptum, which is a World War II first-person shooter. It's dead now, but it used to be quite big a couple of years ago. I used to shoutcast for it. And something I always enjoyed doing that is the clans who would be in the matches would always be excited when I uploaded a video, and they would always ask me to cast their matches so they can watch them back and see them. I always like that because I'm not just producing it for me. I'm producing you. I was producing it the content for people who was generally enjoying it, and they wanted to see their gameplay. And it was kind of rewarding knowing they always wanted me to do that and stuff, and I felt appreciated.
It's really important, I think, to have a connection with your community.
I feel like if you're live streaming, you've got to have it. I'm never a fan of live streamers who never look or engage with chat. That's one thing I like about, example, Payman Iwobi. He has on average 13 to 20,000 viewers per stream, yet he's still talking to chat. He's still engaging with his community, and I think that's the whole point of live streaming. It's live. Engage with your audience. Engage with people in chat. Talk to them. Build up that community. That's important to me. And I think it should be to anyone who's looking to live stream. I've had issues with that in the past, and I've learned from it.
Mm-hmm. What do you want your followers to know about you?
Uh, I don't know, really. They can come up with their own assumptions of who they think I am in real life, or if I'm a if how I am on stream is how I am in real life, or if this is just a character. I don't really mind. I'm generally laid back. I try to promote like good vibes for the most part. So yeah, that's about it.
Right. What questions have I not asked that I should have asked?
I don't know. I think you've done like a good broad synopsis of it. I mean, you didn't ask what my favorite drink was. So like alcoholic drink or my favorite ice cream as those.
Or did you want to share those?
Sure. My, my favorite ice cream is rum and raisin. I always give this advice like never have a basic ice cream flavor as your favorite flavor of ice cream. Always be a little bit exotic with it. You know? Impress. Rum and raisin is so nice. Don't stick with vanilla. There's so many flavors out there. Experience it. Have a good palate. My favorite alcoholic drink. At the moment, it's probably a woo woo. Um, but I'm also a fan of just Lamb's rum, Lamb's Caribbean spice rum. It's so nice with Coke. Lamb's rum and Coke, so nice.
And last question is, how can we find you?
I stream not every day, but most days at twitch.tv/the_Yazoo. I'm also on YouTube, but I don't really upload there. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as well. Same handles, the Yazoo or the_Yazoo, but I'm mostly on Twitch. If anyone would ever want to head there, and that's about it. Where can we find you?
I'm on Twitch, Sashomaru 1500, I think. Yeah, you can find me there, or YouTube, and it's at Ses 5091.